Hi, Bug.
Hi, Bug.
Hi, Bugs.
This is my girlfriend, Alyssa.
And this is my girlfriend, Lauren.
And today, we're gonna be talking to you about how to best be single. But before we get into the video, are you subscribed?
Did you like this video?
Did you comment, I am or am not single. Thanks for the help.
And did you ding that bell? Ding, 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 to get post notifications, because we post 3 times a lovely week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Once you filmed this intro as many times as we have, it can sound a little canned, but we're genuine.
I love going like this. It makes me feel like a flight attendant.
Yeah. The exit's this way, that way, this way.
Put on your safety mask for yourself first. And that's kind of what being single is like. Is it?
Yeah,
You take care of yourself
Your
first.
eye makeup is gorgeous. BTW. That's gorge.
Thank you.
You did great work today.
Thank you. I was doing it like chapels.
It's amazing.
Thank you. This video was DM'd to me by Chloe. Thank you, Chloe.
Thank you, Chloe.
You totally inspired this video, and we have to send you props.
On Instagram, so if you ever have
Yes.
any video requests, DM us on Instagram, because sometimes we're doing them.
She really liked our breakup video, which is great. We love that feedback. And she says, you both said you love being single, and I wanted to know if there were any stories or advice on what you would recommend for someone truly trying to find themselves and be comfortable enough in themselves to fight loneliness.
I loved being single.
Yeah, me too.
Alyssa and I, if you didn't know, are dating. Secondly, we were both single for a few years before dating, and I think we
Yes.
both really enjoyed that.
We had kind of a similar trajectory, which is that we had our big college relationships early on in college.
Yeah.
And then towards the end of college, we were sort of figuring ourselves out. And then it was the pandemic, and then we met each other.
And then we met each other and we said,
that's the one. I think that my biggest thing about being single is that, gosh, I was surrounded by so many ladies who were trying to date men. And at the time I was dating men too. And you just hear and experience so many horror stories that it's like, why would you want to experience something so crazy when you could just hang out with your friends and also get really comfortable spending time alone? Like, I think I spent time alone towards the end of college more than ever, and it was really nice.
yeah, I feel like being comfortable being alone is really important. It's really valuable because you're not always gonna have somebody around. And I feel like it's like a nice time to like check in with yourself and recharge. And my favorite thing about being single was that I could do whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted, and I had to answer to no one. And that was amazing. Like, I remember being in college and being like, I wanna go out tonight. I'm going out. I wanna stay in tonight. I'm staying in. I want to have ramen noodles for dinner 5 days in a row. Num num num. And I don't have to worry that anybody else is saying, Lauren, why are you eating ramen
But you
noodles?
do have to worry about your bowels.
I have to.
Have you heard about this noodle thing that's happening?
No.
It's not ramen. It's not ramen. It's
What?
not ramen. But okay, so there's this is like, I don't even know if this is a new thing, but I've been seeing it a lot on my TikTok. It's that people eat so many I think bulldog noodles, and then or it can be
Not you name dropping. They're gonna sue us for libel.
like a different sort of noodle, like the type of noodle that's like not even actually food, so it just kind of sits inside of you and it creates a blockage, and then you need to like get it removed. It's like a thing that I've been hearing about. So don't eat too many noodles.
Well, let's just say I was eating ramen noodles very frequently in college,
But I don't think it's
as
ramen.
a joke, and
Yeah.
I was regular.
Yeah. Well, gorgeous. I think that, I definitely agree that one of the best parts about being single is being able to do whatever you want. I think especially for a young person who lived at home for their entire life, and then like you go to college or you just move away from home and start your own life. It's the first time in your life that you're not having to report to somebody.
Yes.
Like, even just telling your parents, like, I'm going somewhere, or asking permission. I always ask permission to go places as a kid.
I couldn't go anywhere.
Well,
I had very strict parents, so when I got to college, I was like, yeah! It was awesome.
I was allowed to go to places, but my mom had to know where, and she would often say no.
Yeah.
Like, if I was like, I want to like, she was very concerned about me, like, being in the car with other kids.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, certainly.
Which is
I was never doing that.
Which is concerning in a way, but I digress. I I think that when I got to college, I was like, oh my God, like, as a heads up, like, I'll tell my roommate, like, when I'm gonna be home so that she can plan her life. But God, I never have to tell anybody where I'm going or where I am or anything. Yeah. And then of course, like, you are going to tell people where you are because you'll have friends and people in your life that care about you, but you don't have to. And that's cool. And that's something cool about being single.
Yeah. I also really liked, like, okay, so I wasn't seriously dating anyone while I was single, but the concept of, like,
of course not.
Pursuing someone is kind of fun. Like, even if it's not serious, right? Like, sometimes I would, like, go to an event that's like, I hope so-and-so is here. And it was just for me. And maybe, like, a friend that I would tell. Yeah. And then I wouldn't even, like, approach the person or talk to them.
Yes.
Like, I would just be like, it's just for me to know. And if that person actually came up to me and tried to pursue something, I don't know if I'd be into it, honestly. But for me, it's kind of fun.
I agree. When I was in school, in every single class that I had when I was single, I would pick a crush for every single class to motivate me to go to that
you'd
class.
have, like, 5 crushes at a time.
But they weren't real crushes.
Yeah, they weren't
I was
real.
just like, this is my class crush, and if they pass me a pencil today, then it's a good day.
Then I'm gonna, like, freak out.
Then I'm gonna freak out. And I feel like that's something so fun is, like, having crushes feels very, like, bubbly.
We need to bring back the whimsy of a crush that you won't pursue and that you don't want to pursue, because I think that
you're like, I actually don't want to get to know you because you're probably not the fake person.
Yeah, you're not. Exactly. I feel like that's such an underrated part of being single, and you might be sitting at home thinking, like, isn't that the antithesis of being single, like pursuing something? But you're not pursuing it. You're just fantasizing about it. You're romanticizing your singleness.
You're acting like a movie character, which is one of the best things.
Exactly. Where they, like, fall head over heels with someone that, like, passed them a pencil one time 3 years ago.
Yes. Another thing that I love about being single, and this is not to say that you shouldn't invest a bunch of time into your friendships, but when you are single, something about, like, your friend group feels extra special, especially if everybody's single.
Yeah.
That's fun. And then also, if you're the single friend and everybody's in relationships, you can judge them in a fun way. Not in a mean way, but you can be like, break up with them. Like, you can be like, we can be single together, you know? Like,
I also think it's kind of fun to, okay, sometimes I feel like, more so when I'm single, sometimes I still feel like this, and maybe this is a niche experience. Maybe you're watching this and you're going, I would never feel like that.
Yeah.
But I think something about being a free agent in the world is when you pop into other people's lives for a little bit and then kind of pop out. I feel like a guest star in somebody else's TV show. Like, I have friends that I haven't seen in, like, 2 months, but then I'll go hang out with them for, like, a week, and then I won't see them for, like, 2 more months, and I'm like, that was just my little 1 episode arc. Like, it was just fun. I think it's fun and sweet because you can really dip all 10 of your little toes into everybody's little pots, and then you know. And if you're like, I only have one friend group, that's okay. Dip your toe in, rescind it. Like,
true. And also, like, being single is a good time to join some groups. Like, yes, like, join a club. I don't even know.
Use your time for extracurriculars.
Yes.
Like, and people are like, oh, you can only have extracurriculars in school. Wrong.
No.
Alyssa and I are both in clubs as adults.
We are. And it's so fun. And we've, like, done one-off things. Like, we took a scrapbooking class once.
Yeah.
Like, you can do, like, little things. And definitely, like, my mom in her 30s was in a knitting group.
Yeah.
And she was, like, learning how to knit in this group. It was called Stitching. They would drink wine and they would gossip and they would knit.
That's so fun.
Yeah, that's so fun. And it was like a great way for her to, like, make friends and keep in touch with like people her age. It's so hard as an adult to make friends.
Yes, that's true. When you're an adult, it's harder to make friends, so use your single time to make some friends. I feel like when I was single, I was making some of, like, my favorite friendships that have lasted to now.
Yeah.
Because I was investing that time that I typically would have had for a partner into my friendships and into finding new friends. I think, oh my God, that feeling when you meet someone for the first time and you really click and you're like, oh my God, I just found a new friend.
That's everything. I think I've been trying really hard right now to, like, make friends and, like, keep in touch with the friends that I've made in my time in LA. And I think when you're single, it's like a different sort of, like, cause when you're in a relationship, you're, like, oftentimes hanging out with other couples, which is lovely and great, but isn't it so fun to have, like, a friend just for you?
Yeah.
And you have have your little time together.
Yeah, and we still maintain friendships that are like more like, this is my friend.
Yeah, this is my friend,
your
this is
friend.
your friend.
And we'll like all hang out together.
Yeah.
But it's also nice to be like, me and so-and-so are gonna go do something today. And then Alyssa has either alone time or she hangs out with one of her friends. It's just really nice. Like, I feel like sometimes when you're in a couple, you lose your personhood or your individuality. And I think when you're single, it's such a good time to like either reinstill
when you're
or like
single,
strengthen it.
you are a person. You can't lose it.
Yeah.
You are. Even if you're going through it, even if you're feeling a little lonely, you have got yourself and you've got your power. Your power. I think another great thing about being single is the alone time.
Oh,
I love being alone.
and also, no one's gonna say it. Being in a relationship is expensive.
It is.
I'm buying this girl gifts. I'm buying her flowers. We're going out to dinner more. When you're single, mama, all of that money is for you.
That's yours.
That's for you. And I mean, I love to drop a pretty penny.
Wouldn't trade
on Miss
it.
Alyssa.
But God.
When I was single, you could just be like, I'm taking myself out to dinner.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to Taco Bell at 3 a.m. and only order for one. Like,
Well, I think there's also something exciting about it. It all goes back to like really being able to make choices on your own. Like, you don't have to be like, baby, what do you want for dinner? And then you're like, what do you want for dinner? And I know what I want, but I'm not gonna say.
and why don't you?
I don't know.
Sidebar. Why don't you just say what you want?
Sometimes I do, but then I'm afraid that you won't want the same thing.
And what if I don't?
I don't know.
Oh well, our car goes 2 ways.
You're right.
Back to the main conversation.
And sometimes we'll go to like 2 different places.
Yeah.
Like, if we want different things. But whatever. Generally we're pretty open and we're on the same page. But oh my god, like getting to like go to your favorite restaurant and pick up takeout and not have to worry about anybody else. Like now, anytime I'm anywhere, I'm like, baby, do you want a latte? Like I'm like, do you want something? And I'm happy to do it, but also like there's something so free about being like, I don't have to ask anybody else about anything.
I'm ordering 1 latte, 1 croissant, and I'm eating them alone.
And sometimes I'll still do that. Like sometimes you still gotta like eat alone and do your own thing and take a moment.
Seriously, go to dinner by yourself.
Do it. I love going out to eat by
treat.
myself. You know what I love doing by myself?
Movies.
Yeah. I used to go to the movies all the time alone in college before I was with this girl, and she loves the movies and we go together and it's just as good. But going to the movies alone is fun because if you don't like it, you just leave.
Oh my god, I love to walk out of a movie.
The best.
I've actually only ever walked out of 1 movie. It was with you.
The only hard part.
Wonka.
Yes. The hardest part about doing things alone is if you run into somebody you know. That's really hard. What movie did I see alone?
Put in an AirPod and say I'm on the phone.
What movie did I see alone that there like a group of people from my college walked into?
Oh.
And they like kind of acknowledged me.
Oh, okay.
And they feel bad. Like it was kind of
They
like,
Alyssa, you're
not
here
like
alone. And
not
you're
like my
yes.
good friends. Not good friends, which is harder.
Yeah. Because good friends, you could be like, I'm alone. Go away.
I was seeing Wreck-It Ralph wreck the internet. I think.
Breaks the internet?
Yeah, I think so. Wreck-It Ralph is either wrecks the internet or breaks the
I'm
internet.
telling you, it's
Breaks the internet. That's what I was seeing. Love the Wreck-It Ralph films. That was a point in time where I was seeing everything.
That's so funny.
And I was seeing it alone.
And the squad did not invite you to join. You wouldn't have wanted to.
No, they weren't people that I particularly loved, but they weren't people that I hated.
Also, okay, another thing you can do when you're single, which I love, but I would be very much less inclined to do now because I love going to sleep with Alyssa. Have a friend sleepover.
Oh, that's so fun.
Or go to a friend's house and wear your little
love
PJs
sleepovers.
and watch some movies and like indulge.
Yeah.
Here it is. Indulge what your childhood self would have wanted to do with their friends, but you're an adult, so you can actually do it. Like, me and my friends, we want to go to a movie and we want to go ice skating and we want to go to the mall and then we want to go watch 3 movies in a row and stay up until 5 a.m. and then wake up on a Saturday morning like hungover on Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Do it.
And then you like go to like a flea market.
Yes!
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's so fun. Oh my gosh. When I was a kid, because I have sleeping troubles.
Yeah.
So I was a big fan of the layover. Do you know this?
Oh, you've told me about this, but I think you should explain because I didn't know before you.
So this is just when you stay at your friend's house super, super, super late, but then you go to bed at your own home.
so your mom had to pick you up at like midnight?
Yeah, or I would pick myself up when I learned how to drive. I would take myself home. Or this is the hack. You have somebody laid over at your house. They leave. You go upstairs.
You say, okay, go home.
You say, I'm really sleepy. And then they call their parents.
That's so funny.
It's the best.
One of my favorite things Alyssa has ever said to me is one time she was hosting a party and she was like, when it gets to X time, I'm gonna start yawning in front of people so they go home.
I start my parties early so they end
Early also.
Everybody needs to be out by 1 latest.
Yeah, so at midnight she's breaking out the
putting on my sleeping cap. Go home.
Lighting my candle, walking the halls, turning off all the lights, turning on a white noise.
Warning people about ghosts.
This is awesome. Making your bed with you inside it.
Having everybody kiss me on the head before they go.
Having everybody popcorn read a bedtime story.
Oh, I wish they would do that.
We could make them do that.
But now about being single. There's something to be said about the dating apps if you're old enough to be on one.
Oh.
I did not enjoy trying to find love on them, but God, what I did love is playing them like a game and swiping around and
just to see who would match with you?
Yeah, just to see who was around.
Do you feel like you were more, not politically, more liberally swiping or conservatively swiping?
Conservatively.
You were only swiping on a few, right?
Yeah. I mean,
one time I sat next to a man at a party, first mistake. He pulled out his dating app and I saw him open it and just massive swiped right to see who would match with him so he could DM them. He didn't even look. It was like as if he was checking his heartbeat. Like he just.
That's crazy to do at a party. I'm checking my email at the party.
Yeah, I'm also checking my email. I'm checking my TikTok comments. And then I'm saying, I shouldn't be reading these right now. Yeah, no, that was wild. I feel
crazy.
like, yeah, when I was on the dating apps, also not playing them like a game, but also kind of playing them like a game because they
I
feel like a game. I was swiping
I've always
conservatively
struggled to connect with people online because I really need to know your personality, and I find that over like text or DMs or whatever, people are very different than they are in person, and I'm not compelled by appearance unless I already know that I like your personality.
Wait, so okay, can we do a role play for a second? Okay, imagine you and I have not met in person, but we were mutuals on TikTok, remember? But we didn't really talk. You see me on a dating app. What you doing? Do you think you would swipe left or swipe right?
I think I would swipe right.
You think?
Well, you're beautiful. What would your bio say?
You know me from TikTok.
Oh, I know you from TikTok?
Yeah.
And I for sure recognize you?
Was there ever a question about that?
Well, if it was earlier on,
no,
or like it was like when I clearly knew who you were.
You clearly knew who we were. We were mutuals. You knew I was in LA.
I would probably swipe right, but we probably wouldn't be messaging.
You wouldn't message me?
I might message you and be like, hey, but I feel like it would like maybe fizzle unless you were like, let's go meet up immediately.
I probably would be like, let's meet up immediately, but maybe I would feel like, I don't know if she swiped right because she's into me or because she recognizes me from TikTok.
So then we might have never had this gorgeous story.
JK, no, because when we met up, under the pretense of friends the first time,
it wasn't under the pretense of anything.
I thought it was pretense of friends. We should go back to those DMs.
I just said we should hang out, I think.
One day on TikTok, we should read our DMs to each other.
But we are friends, of course, and we were friends first for a couple weeks.
Yeah, for like 2 weeks, and then we had a smoochie. But before that, we were both single.
Yes, that's true. For a long time. So that's our story. Yeah, I think I just had a really hard time on the date. I think it's really difficult, and I think a lot of gay girlies struggle with this because they don't have the nerve to message.
Yeah.
And I think you just need to move past that nerve, but that's not what this video is about.
This video is not about
being single, so don't message. Stay single.
Do you guys want a dating apps video, be honest?
I feel like I'm no expert, but I think you are an expert.
I'm not an expert, but I was going on a fair amount of first dates.
And it really helped you figure out what you wanted.
That's my favorite part of being single. I for a long time I was like, I don't want anything serious. I don't want anything serious. And then through trial and error of dating and also spending a lot of time with myself and seeing how I like to spend time, then it made it so when I did meet Alyssa, I was like, this is what me likey. This is what I want. So oh my God, if you want to be in a relationship but you're single, spend that single time figuring out what you actually want, what you think would work for you.
It's true. And I think like, it sounds very rom-com-y, but like create your list of like ideal traits in a partner, because it almost kind of works as manifestation.
Yes.
Because
I literally manifested you. I've told her this before, but I was manifesting in a journal one time, and I have a specific page about what I'm looking for in a partner, and she checks every box.
do I really? I haven't even seen that page.
I never would show it to you.
Okay.
I'm kidding, I would show it to you. I gotta find it. I bet I can find it somewhere.
Well, I remember like deep pandemic, like my friend and I I think we recorded like 3 episodes of a podcast. We were like, and it was like, who, Jade? And we were like giving advice. It was like an advice podcast, and we were like being like big sisters.
That's sweet.
And it was really sweet, but there's a podcast clip that she sent me like recently that was like me talking about what I wanted in a relationship, and she was like, this is Lauren exactly.
Wait, what?
But I forget what it was. I could find it.
I want to hear it.
Find it. This podcast was not long lived, but it was so fun, and I love that girl.
And I'm sorry that we're talking about relationships so much. Being single is not just about finding.
But this is what I was. Of course not. But you can dream up your dream person if you even want that.
I'm so shocked you didn't even tell me about this.
I didn't.
I'm looking for somebody who is censored crazy. Oh, yes. So like fashionable. Yes. I've been talking about this a lot. I think I'm on a level that I'm ready to date someone who's fashionable. And I'm not trying to shame anyone for the way that they dress, because I don't really care how other people dress. I care more about how I dress. But I'm ready, I think, to date someone with a more refined sense of fashion. I think like fashion, because I'm passionate about it.
Yeah. Fashion also, I feel like, equates, like, exactly what you said. Fashion equates to identity.
Yeah. And
That's what you need.
it's not a deal breaker. It's not a deal breaker. I also I'm breezy woman.
Oh, yes.
What did I say? Looking for a breezy woman?
And that's what you need.
It's not a deal breaker. It's not
We're
a deal
recording
breaker.
this via
I
Zoom.
also breezy woman.
Breezy woman.
Yes. I'm looking for a woman who is like a Phoebe laid back. Just like laid back, because I'm high strung.
You need someone, you need, like, the opposite. And those two people that you said, like, a really grounded, self-actualized person.
Yeah, because I'm pretty, like, I'm high strung, but I'm pretty grounded.
Yes.
And I'm looking for someone who's not as high strung, who can
lift you up.
This is wild because I think you're so laid back. Were you more high strung at this point in time?
I don't know. Yes, I was more high strung in college. I think I am laid back, but I am high strung in like I like to be in charge of things.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I probably was more high strung at that time.
And do you feel like what you described in that video is someone sitting on the couch with you?
Woman.
A breezy, fashionable woman
who's crazy.
The censored. So at the end of the day, I think when you're single, use this time to refine what you want, refine how you feel about yourself, how you like to spend your time, do the fun stuff,
Have boatloads of fun. Stay out late.
prioritize your friendships and finding friends who are good for you that you will want to carry on throughout your life, or at least for a period of time. And just have fun. Have fun with it.
I think being single also helps you look at the people around you and see who is prioritizing their romantic oh god. Being single lets you look around you, see the people around you, and see who's prioritizing their romantic relationships and who's prioritizing their friends and who's got a good balance. And I think that's great, because a lot of times, I don't know, I just feel like a lot of times your friends' boyfriends suck. And
that's the title of this video. Your friends' boyfriends suck.
And that's hard. And you say, be good to her.
Yeah.
Please be good to her.
I like you, girl.
I like you, girl.
All right.
All right. Bye. Wait, no, hey. You didn't get out that easy. You better subscribe.
You better subscribe and you better like this video, comment, ding that bell.
Ding, ding, ding.
Because we're posting 3 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. want to see on the tube at the socials?
This was a video that was inspired by a DM I got. So thank you, Chloe. Thank you, Chloe. Okay.
Okay.
Bye, bug.
Bye, bug.
Bye, bugs.
I'm gonna go listen to that podcast now.